Hi guys, welcome to another video with Cass on the Maizuma channel. So what I have for you today is something that has been requested a lot in the past to me, which is some sort of pre-filter for your storage system. So what it does is it finally allows you to place just any item inside this chest, and it will split everything. Like if it's a regular item, it ends up in here. If it's unstackable items, then it goes through this pipe. And if it's a shulker box, the shulker box itself will get unloaded. The items that get unloaded will flow back inside the system, and then they will get filtered for pickaxes and things like that again. And then all the empty shulker boxes will go inside this pipe here. So yeah, this is the machine that does everything, and it has overflow protection and works at hyper speed and is silent, completely silent, guys. So eventually you can hear the pistons when the pistons try to break the shulker boxes, but there was nothing I could do to avoid this. But other than that, you shouldn't be able to hear a single noise. So let's run a quick test. For this test, I will use black shulker boxes that represent empty shulker boxes, and the blue shulker boxes have a few items inside, including unstackable items. Yeah, we're going to put all of those items inside the system. But first of all, we're going to lock the system. The reason why locking the system or the input system is useful is because when you start sending a bunch of items to your item sorters, maybe it's going to be too busy, and at this point you might want to send a signal back to your pre-filter so it locks the input and doesn't send more items until the item sorting system is less busy. This is why. Okay, so let's put all the items in. So first we're gonna get a few shulker boxes in, then a little bit of buzz out, and then the empty shulker boxes. In the beginning, I think I want to do yes. Let's just do that. Okay, so if we start the system now, we will see that the shulker box will end up down here, and it will start unloading to these hoppers immediately, and then it goes through the item elevator. You can't hear a single noise, and then the items are getting inside the system. So if you check this box, you will see that the shulker boxes are being correctly unloaded. Let's speed up the process a little bit. So maybe a tick. Rate 60, so the game's gonna run 3 times as fast. So as you can see, it's done with the first shulker box, and the empty shulker box has been stored in here, and you can also see that the unstackable items have been correctly stored in this other shulker box. If the system starts getting way too many shulker boxes, a signal strength level will lock the input automatically. So it will never like break because there are way too many shulker boxes in here, because the system locks itself automatically. Also, if the system is taking a lot of items in, as well as unloading a lot of shulker boxes at the same time, there is also another signal in here that once the signal strength grows, it will also lock the input automatically. So it kind of self-manages itself in order to not get too many items. You can see a bunch of items in here, signal strength level has increased, and the input has been locked. So the system will never overflow. The only thing you need to make sure is to always have enough room for your items. So for instance, if this box ever gets full, then your system can break somehow. I think it's fixable, but yeah, this is the only thing you have to make sure that you actually have a place to put your items, or that you have a disposal system. But other than that, the system will basically self-manage. So yeah, it's a smart system. The space we're going to need for this build is a total of 8 by 5. So let us start by placing a note block on the floor, and then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 observers, and then 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6 solid blocks in front of those, and then we can have our silent item elevator. So just have to hold shift and place a bunch of droppers facing upwards. Those should not be dispensers, okay? And then here we're gonna have 3 hoppers pointing in the same direction, like so. From this one, I'm gonna grab a signal, amplify it, and then create a clock right here. So this block also needs to be solid because it's going to power the note block every time the clock runs. And then this needs to be in subtraction mode, and yeah, this is all you need. So even if you place a single item inside the item elevator, oops, I mean you have to place it inside inside the hopper. So when an item goes in here, then it ends up in there. The science circuit is going to be a shulker box unloader. So for now, we're just going to have a chest in there, and then place two hoppers facing this way, so they face the other containers. And then this guy is going to connect to a block with redstone dust. And on this side, you're going to have a sticky piston, and then you can have a cauldron in here and just fill it up with water. So water bucket, and there you go. And on the other side, we're going to have a few observers. So the first one is going to be a little bit annoying to place because it goes upside down like so. And then you have another one going forward into a solid block, and then repeater, and then you can do basically the same thing. So observer, another observer, and solid block. So basically those two sides are the same. So here you're going to have a regular piston, and this is going to be responsible for breaking the shulker boxes when the system unloads them. Solid block, another comparator, and then another solid block in there. And here you want to have another comparator, and now we're going to need a dispenser as well. Okay, so the dispenser goes upside down in here, so maybe we should have placed those first. So dispenser goes in there, and then you can have your comparators back in place. Alright, and finally here you need to have a hopper. So this is a very simple shulker box unloader that will take care of empty boxes. So if I place a chest now here, you can see that I have a shulker box in my inventory with 10 diamonds in total. So if I place the shulker box in there, you can see that it's going to try to unload the items. So you will see that the shulker box has been broken, and the empty box is in here. And if you look up here, 10 diamonds in total. I like to have composters on top of the hoppers to try and reduce a little bit of lag, and I also like to encage this so that there is no chance of items escaping from here. So 3 blocks up from this chest, we're gonna have a temporary chest in here and another one in there. So behind those chests, we're gonna have hoppers pointing towards them, and in the middle, we're gonna have a hopper pointing downwards into our shulker box unloading system. Alright, so now we're gonna build the blue circuit, which is the one responsible for most of the job in here. So I'll just pick up a blue shulker box in here and place it there. Okay, and then we're gonna have 2 hoppers pointing in this direction. I actually have a separate tutorial for this if you guys are interested, where I explain a little bit more about this circuit. Okay, so here from this, you wanna measure this, and then we can have something like this. You want to place a hopper in there with one unstackable item inside it, and then have your comparator in there, and then here this should be Sigma strength level 3. Then from this we're gonna have another comparator, actually 2 comparators coming out of this hopper in there, and here you can just do this. So have another comparator on subtraction mode, and then we can do something like this. Alright, so this should all be working. And now the most important detail. Inside this hopper, you need to have a shulker box in here, an empty shulker box. I recommend renaming the shulker box so you know that this is here to act as a filter. Alright, so now to the final details. I like to have another composter in here just as a reminder to not ever have a chest in there. And then here you want to have a double chest. This will act as a buffer, and we're going to connect three hoppers into it. They come from the item elevator. So basically your system is going to be getting an input from the real input, like the actual input chest is going to be this one. So any items that you want the system to filter are going to come from this chest in particular, and the item, basically the system can get items from the input itself and from the shulker boxes that are unloading. And when this happens, sometimes it's necessary to lock this system in here which is why we have a comparator in here. So this will measure the system, and if a lot of items start getting inside this, it's going to lock this guy here. Optionally, you can also lock this input directly if you prefer to do so, but not necessary. And also, there is a signal coming from down here. So this measures if there are too many shulker boxes to be unloaded, so that this part of the system never overflows. So if it has way too many items, this signal is going to basically also lock the input. So we're going to place redstone dust on top of this, and actually you don't need this one, and you can place a target block in here to get this guy powered. And I also like to have another target block in here so that this hopper is always getting powered, so it never search for items. So this also reduces lag. And optionally you can also have this shulker box facing this way so that you can have a solid block in here that will allow you to lock your system manually. So if you want to lock your system so it doesn't take any more inputs, you can have your lever in here. And this can also be connected to a feedback line that basically this line is going to come from your sorting system. So if your sorting system is too busy, it can send a signal back here, and it's going to lock the input, so no more items will get inside your sorting system. And when it's free again, it's going to unlock this. So this is an optional system that you can do. Okay, I believe everything is ready to go in here, guys. So let's run our first test. I believe we can use this shulker box with one unstackable item and as well as regular items in there. So let's pick this up, and let me make sure that I copied it correctly. Let's place 3 of those in here, and now the shulker box should unload in there. The items should flow back inside the system and get inside this chest. So we expect to see 10 plus 10 plus 10, so 30 diamonds in the end, so 10 from each box, as well as 3 unstackable items in here. So we already have 2. So this is working. So basically this tests if the system can deal with regular items, which are all in here, the swords, and then we can expect to see 3 shulker boxes in here. So yeah, the reason why I have these as chests is that then now we can basically merge everything down here in a more elegant way, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so here we can have another hopper aimed in this direction, and another one in there. Actually, we could just have it like so, and another one like so, and then we can place a few item frames. So there you have it, boys and girls. Yeah, this line is going to output any regular items, and this should connect to your storage system. This is where you're gonna get empty shulker boxes, and this is where you're gonna get your armor and buckets, I mean filled buckets and things that don't stack in general. So yeah, I hope this was helpful to you guys, and yeah, if you have any problems, you can just post a comment, and if this was helpful to you, maybe leave a like on this video, or maybe subscribe, guys. Hope to see you back soon. Have a great day, and see you.